Now, let's talk about how you get paid. You get paid differently depending upon where you're working. Most places, as an automotive technician, you're getting paid under a flat rate system. And what that means is that they pay you X amount of dollars per billed hours that you work. In other words, if you get paid, like say $10 an hour, just throwing the number out there because it's an easy number. You get paid $10 an hour. You go into work that day. You work on one car. And that car bills, in other words, whatever job you do on that car, there's a book, a Mitchell book most people go by, that has a labor time that says that this particular procedure is billable at 4 hours, let's say. So you go in that day and you work on a car, and maybe it takes you all day. It takes you 8 hours, but you billed 4. You only get paid for 4 hours, so you'd only get $40 for going into work that day. Conversely, if you went in, like say in a dealership situation, and billed more hours than when you were there, so instead of billing 8 hours, my record was 32 hours in a day. I'm sure there's other people out there that have done more, but I did it legitimately, and I was proud of it. But I billed 32 hours for one day's worth of work, and I was only there for 8. Those are the days where it works out. Those days where you get paid for 4 hours and you worked on it for 8, it doesn't. But that's what you can expect out in the field, is that you would get paid on a flat rate system. The places like the chains and the corporate places, a lot of times they will work on a salary and commission. So in other words, based on what you sell, you have an incentive to sell to get a better paycheck. At the independent shop, it could be anybody's guess. They could work it on a flat rate, they could work it on salary. Really depends on them. One more thing, I also worked when I was at a dealership under what's referred to as a team system. And in a team system, there is a group of technicians, in my case there were 4, that all shared the same billable hours for that day. So say for instance you're working with 4 other guys. You bill 4 hours, the guy next to you bills 10 hours, the guy next to him bills 8 hours, and the guy next to him bills 6 hours. You add all those together at the end of the day and split that 4 ways. So you get 25% of the total take for the day, the total billable hours. Or however many people are on your team. If there's 3, it's 33%, that kind of thing. Situations like this can work out in the sense that, say for instance, you've got a really difficult electrical problem and you need to take all day to work on it, but your billable hours on that are only about 4 hours. And then the other guys that you're working with step up and turn out a lovely 30 hours for that particular day. Great. Then everybody's happy, then it works out. But say for instance you're the guy that is always billing the hours, and the other guys aren't necessarily billing the hours. You are in a difficult situation there. Good luck with that. There's a lot of politics involved, but once again that happens at any job. But that's something you may run into. It's the flat rate pay scale hurts and doesn't hurt. I mean, it helps with productivity, but it also hurts in the sense that I've seen it being used to where maybe somebody bills for something they didn't necessarily do. Things like that. Also, if you're working at a dealer, warranty work. Warranty work is dictated by the factory and is often a reduced time scale than you would get if you were billing normal service hours. So if you're in a place where you're doing lots of warranty work, you may not get paid as much as a result. So that's another flip side to the dealership situation. Whereas if you're in an independent shop or a chain, you don't necessarily get that.